Okay, welcome back. So I did go ahead and skip sourcing this morning. There was a big community yard sale I was thinking I would go to, and I just decided to stay home today. It's Saturday, June 21st. I decided to just stay home all day today and just work on getting stuff listed from my death pile. And I think I've done a pretty good job. I'm not exactly sure how many listings I got completed today, but right now I have no drafts that are ready to go. I have a few that are like halfway started but not completed, and I took photos and everything all day today, so maybe I got through 25, 35, maybe 30 listings probably today. So I'm scheduling them out into the future like I used to, only now I'm doing $200 per day rather than a certain number of listings per day. We'll see if I keep that up or not. There were 4 orders that came in today. One was an auction, which is pretty rare for me, and that made me think about doing some other auctions I'll talk about in a few minutes. But right now I'm going to add yesterday's sales to the tally board here. So right now there are 4 sales from Friday. So we'll add those here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's all finished. So looks like Tuesday's still in the lead. I'm thinking about something to do with that, and so I'll tell you about that in a minute. But first, I'm going to grab all of the inventory that is shipping out today and get it ready to pack. So hold on for 1 minute. Right here in front of me is a small lot of Cosmopolitan magazines. I think it's 5 of them. I'm gonna wrap them. They don't sell for that much. I can't remember for sure. Let me get my phone out. They only sold for $13.59, so I'm not gonna put a ton of effort into protecting these. They're not that valuable. But I am gonna just wrap this with a few wraps of stretch wrap, and this way as well. And then they should not move around much once I get them in this box. So this box is just fine. Let's wrap some paper. Wrap the whole thing in paper a couple of times. I got these. Most of the time, if you see any magazines, if I'm selling any magazines, I probably got them for free from a Facebook Marketplace or a Craigslist ad. This one was Facebook, and it was in February 27th. I imagine, I'm having a hard time remembering because I've done these kind of pickups quite a lot. I'm imagining I got like a huge stack of different glamour magazines, fashion magazines. That's sort of my memory of it. And then I divided them up by title. So I don't know who buys these and exactly what they buy them for, but I have heard about buyers who buy them up. You know, they buy big lots and then they cut out the pictures of certain celebrities and send them to other countries where who knows what people do with weird photos. It's probably some sort of fetish issue. I don't know exactly, but I don't really care. You know, whatever. Give me your $13. You do whatever you want with them. Okay, close up. There we go. So they are very heavy. You know, magazines are. I would say magazines are even heavier than books because it's like 100% paper. There's very little. You know, if you take a book apart, like a hardcover book, there's the covers themselves are usually some sort of a cardboard that's a little more airy, you know, a little more lightweight. But if you just have glossy pages of a magazine, no covers or anything, you know, no hard covers or anything like that, it's basically a block of wood with, you know, oil-based inks on it. So they can be very heavy, which deters, you know, it makes the shipping more expensive. So this one it's over 4 pounds. I wish it would be slightly lighter, but there it is. That's the size it is, or that's the weight it is. 13 by 11 by 3, and the buyer's initials are KD. So this is a KD. It's a woman's name. It's in Portland, Oregon. I doubt she's gonna take these apart for any kind of nefarious purpose, so I hope she enjoys them. Okay, what's next? All right, this is, I can't remember how I boxed this. You know, if this is all ready to go or not, if it's gonna need some more attention. Sometimes I make little notes on the outside of fragile stuff, but this one, how much did this go for? 50 bucks. I feel like it should probably be double boxed. I don't really want to do that, but I'm going to have to do that. If it was $20 or $30, I might not, but for $50, it's got to be protected. This is Charming Tales. I'll put a picture up on the screen. They're little statuettes, like probably sold in Hallmark stores. I can't remember the guy's name who was behind it. Okay, Dean Griff is a guy who created these. And I was at Unique. When was this? January. There were a ton of them there, and I kept coming back to them. I think they had them like $1.99 a piece, or around that kind of a price. And they just aren't worth enough. Like this one is kind of a big one. It's a Thanksgiving scene. In fact, when I was researching the value on it, I found this. This had been sold, and it was this exact same one. Like the one that I bought had been sold on another website to somebody, probably the person who donated it to. Probably somebody died, and then they donated all their collection to Unique. Oh, what happened? My tape broke. Huh. So yeah, this one has like a tiny little, there's a bucket in the front and the handle of it is broken off. And so when I was searching these, I was trying to find out how much it was worth, and I found that exact same one that had the same bucket broken off of it. And they're also numbered on the bottom, so it's really easy to, it was really easy to make sure that it was the exact same one. So yeah, this one, I just lowered the price. I had it listed for like $72, and I just lowered the price like maybe a day or two ago, because it's, you know, enough's enough. Got to get rid of this junk. And I lowered it to $50. I only paid $2.20 for it, so I'm fine to sell that for 50 bucks. If it was anything else, and I spent $2 on it and sold it for 50, I would be ecstatic. Anyway, there were so many of them there, and like I said, they really don't have a lot of value. I'll show you. Most of them are much smaller. This one is probably about, I don't know, it's like 8 or 10 inches long. Well, it's got to be less than 8 inches, because that's the size of the box. But here's a cute one. Here's some sitting here. I trapped it. So they're just little ceramic pieces. Most of them are holiday themed, like Thanksgiving or Easter. That one looks like it might have a piece missing off of it. Anyway, there were so many of them there, and then some of them were signed by Dean Griff. I don't know exactly what these numbers mean. I thought they were not, like limited edition. This one says 85/702, so that made me think there were 702 of these made. But some of them, the front number is bigger than the back number, so that wouldn't make any sense. So I don't understand those numbers. Anyway, I took all the ones that were signed and dated by Dean Griff. And even still, I think it was probably a bad decision to buy those. I can't remember how many I bought, maybe I'll be somewhere between 8 and 12 of them. But this one probably paid for the whole thing. And I probably am in profit on it already just by selling this one for $50. because those would have been $1.99 a piece. And let me turn this fan off before it causes more audio issues. Those would have been $1.99 a piece, and then I would have gone there on a Monday where everything is half off at Unique. So I probably paid, all told, I probably paid $15 to $20 for everything there. That's my guess. And so if I sold this one for $50, then I've already made $30. Of course, after a shipping label and everything, we'll see where we're at. It's going to be probably $32 profit on this, I guess. I'm guessing. So keep that number in mind when we get to the end of the video. We'll after I print the labels, I'll tell you exactly how much each of these items earned. And sometimes I'm pretty close when I make these guesses. I'm getting more and more experience with how much things cost, how much the shipping cost, how much eBay fees are, and all that stuff. So right now I'm guessing we're gonna make 30. Let me revise that. Yeah, $32. That's my guess. If it's more than that, then that's a win. If it's exactly what I said it was, then I can feel good about my ability to estimate. So it's a win-win. If it's less than that, then that sucks. Okay, good. I really don't have to be packing these packages tonight because it's Saturday. There's no, there won't be any mail pickup until Monday, so I could wait until tomorrow night, but some of these nights I'm getting overwhelmed. Like I'd rather do 20 minutes unpacking a night rather than an hour and a half. If I can do 20 minutes every night, or if I can do 1 hour every other night, I'd rather do the 20 minutes each night. So I'm packing these. I won't do anything with them until Monday morning, but ideally Sunday, will be a big day. Charming Tales. So ideally we'll sell a lot of stuff on Sunday, and then if we had 4 or more, if we sell 10 items tomorrow, for instance, I'd rather do 10 items Sunday night than do 14. So I'll get these done now. This is 4 pounds. It's 12 by 12 by 11. And it's going to DA. Okay, so yeah, I got all this listing stuff done today. It is starting to look better around here. And then you might not be able to tell it, but I did take some time to clean a little bit. I got some stuff organized. Some of these boxes I got squared away, put them where they need to go. It's still pretty chaotic here, but it's better than it was. So tomorrow, hopefully, I'll do a lot more listing, and then I'll be able to clear out some of the floor space in the living room. I want to vacuum in there, and I'll vacuum in the bedroom as well. All right, next up, this is a Martha Stewart holiday DVD set. It's got 3 discs in here: New Year's Eve, Homemade Holidays, and Thanksgiving. It's from 2005. I think this might have been a Target. I can't remember. I feel like this might have been a Target exclusive DVD. I don't remember where I got it. Unique. So yeah, back to Unique again. This was in December 9th. I remember now I bought it and I wanted to get it listed right away, hoping that somebody would buy it before Christmas. They wanted to do their holiday stuff, but didn't happen. That was, 6 or 7 months ago now, but it finally sold. Not a big seller, $20, $19.99 plus shipping. I'm sure I put a medium mail, flat rate medium mail shipping on here, And lately I've been finding, I might have talked about this last night, I can't remember. Usually anything that I'm gonna ship media mail, I check. Especially if it's in a bigger box, like if this box is full of books, it's almost certainly would be cheaper to ship that Ground Advantage over media mail. But lately I've been finding just like a single DVD or a single book is also cheaper. So even if you tell the buyer you're gonna ship a media mail, you can feel free to ship it a better service. So Ground Advantage is definitely a better service than media mail. I think the way media mail works and why it used to be cheaper is they would have like one special truck at each post office or sorting center or whatever, where they would just load it with media mail, and then that truck doesn't go anywhere until it's totally full. This is exactly 1 pound. These 10 by 7 by 3, and it's going to PK. So with that media mail setup, you know, you send something out, and if they don't get a lot of media mail stuff at that distribution center, those packages could just sit there for weeks or months before finally getting shipped out. All right, my final order of today. This was an auction. I got all of these records. I got let's say I got 20. I think I got 26 records for $30 from a garage sale. And most of them, usually you see records at yard sales and it's like Mantovani or the new Christie Minstrels or classical music, or it's a lot of folk music was popular, sometimes like Hawaiian music. If you find rock music, it's pretty rare at a yard sale. So the woman who was running the sale, I was looking around and I found a CD player I picked up, and she said, "Oh, if you like music, we got a bunch of records over here." And they had them all covered up with a blanket because they didn't want the sun hitting them and warping them or whatever. Which tells you they're thinking about condition, you know. So there was a lot of like 70s, mostly 70s rock music. Almost all of them were like, even if the covers were a little bit damaged, the vinyl itself isn't really, I'm not a record grader, so I couldn't say excellent or very excellent or whatever terms they use. But very few of them had any kind of scratches or anything on them. So like I said, I got 26. I either got 26 or 28 for $30. So they were just over $1 a piece. These are all Beatles ones, and maybe I could have sold them individually, but I thought I would save myself the trouble of researching these, and then I would just do an auction and let the market decide the value. Since I got them for so cheap, just over $1 a piece, I was pretty much happy to take any amount. I started this auction at $29.99, so if I had just sold it for $30, that would have been fine. I paid for these, I think there's 6. How many are there? There's either 6 or 7. It's like 6 Beatles records and one. This big George Harrison set has 3 discs in it. That was the first one I looked up, and it seemed like it wasn't worth that much, maybe between like $15 and $40, depending on condition. But yeah, that was the first one I looked up, and that's the one where I decided, like, these prices are all over the place. Like I said, I'm not an expert on condition, so I'm just gonna do the auction, and it went pretty well. It's ended up going for $51, which is a little lower than I suspected it would go for. But like I said, I would have been happy to get the 36 or whatever I had. Whatever I said earlier, I forgot already. So yeah, these sold, and then that made me think about, I've never had much luck with ending and relisting old items. And I know a lot of people say, you know, there's a lot of different theories about how often you have to do it, like which special technique you have to use if you want to end an old listing and relist it, whether or not you hit relist or sell similar makes a difference. I haven't had any luck. You know, I went through a phase for several months where I was relisting my 5 oldest items every day, and I would say none of those sold. So it's possible I just had bad inventory. You know, that stuff is just never going to sell. That's certainly possible. It's possible that it's stuff that is just waiting for the right person. You know, it's not going to be a fast mover, and there's nothing that I can do to make somebody buy it except just wait for the right person who wants it to come along. In any event, I decided today I was going to try doing some auctions of some of those old items, because I have all of these craftsman tools like wrenches and mostly sockets. I bought a ton of sockets. 2 days at 2 different sales, I just went crazy buying old vintage made in the USA craftsman sockets. It was like one tool that I bought that day that paid for the entire day's worth of shopping. So these other ones, I think I probably paid like, you know, by the time I averaged it out, they're like 18 cents a piece or less. You know, maybe let's go in here and take a look. Okay, Craftsman. Okay, this socket, 30 cents I have on this single socket. So if I paid 30 cents a piece for them, that's probably, I mean, that's what my notes say. That's probably what I did. So anyway, I decided today, I had them priced all over the place based on similar sold comps. But I decided today I was just going to go through them and start a bunch. There's maybe, I maybe did 50 or 60 today, scheduled auctions. So I just decided, like, okay, any of them that I have here where I think the price is under, it's valued under $12, I'm just going to do an auction with a starting price of $6.99. Anywhere I think the price is around $21, I'm going to start an auction where the opening bid is $12 or whatever. So I came up with like 4 different ranges in price, and then I just relisted. I ended all of those listings, and then I relisted them, scheduled relistings as auctions. So hopefully all of those sockets will sell in 7 days when the auctions are over. But it's not a, there's no guarantee they'll even get bids. So it might have been a waste of time. We'll find out. I think it's going to work out fine though. I'm going to have a good outlook on this. I was worried about, you know, if I have 60 auctions going off all on the same day and they all get paid for right away, there's no way I'll be able to do that, get all that packing done in one night. And I have next day shipping on all of my listings. How heavy is this? I'm trying to decide if this is heavy enough to put. I don't like to do these side flaps. I see some other people do shipping videos, and I see them do, you know, put a piece of tape along here. And I do it sometimes if the box is very heavy, but for the most part, I don't do it because I know that, I mean, for many years I worked in warehouses, and we didn't do that to a single box. You know, every box just got one piece of tape down the middle, and not even this nice 3-inch tape, which maybe is a waste of money. Who knows? And we never had any issues with any of that stuff. So I don't always do that, but unless the box is really heavy. This one is 7 pounds, which is surprising. 6 pounds, 4 ounces. And I think these boxes, I got these boxes specifically for plates, dinner plates. And they're like 15 by 15 by 5. Hopefully that 15 by 15 by 5, I should do the math. Let's do the math. So, calculator. The post office doesn't really like packages that are more than 12 by 12 by 12, or this equivalent when you multiply 12 by 12 by 12. So 1728. Whoops. So if this box clear is 15 by 15 by 5, it's much less. 11 11.25. So 17.28 is where any number bigger than that, they're going to charge you a lot more for. Okay, who's this going to? So the only problem with auctions is that people aren't required to necessarily pay right away when the auction ends. So that sucks when you're just waiting for somebody to pay. I dropped my marker. And they never get around to paying, and then you're just stuck with that item. You got to relist it and start over. Okay, we got the 4 items. I'm going to pull up the bulk label purchasing page on eBay, and I'll put all this information in there, and I'll come right back and we'll talk about how much profit we made today. Okay, that's that. These 4 boxes are all ready to go. I'm just going to put them aside until Monday morning when everything will go out on my porch. So let's go check out how much money we earned today. Okay, Cosmopolitan magazines. Let's turn this off again. Cosmopolitan magazines. I got them for nothing. I sold them for $13.59. The buyer paid $11.16 shipping. There was a $3.81 eBay fee, and then the shipping actually cost $10.16, so $1 less than what the buyer paid. We still ended up making $10.78 on those magazines. All right, next up, Charming Tales. What did I say? What was I guessing? 38? Anyway, we made $41.10 on that, so I know I was somewhere in the 30s. I did better than I thought I would, so that's not bad. Martha Stewart DVD set, $14.02, and then those Beatles records, I made $36.70. This might be the one where I was estimating $36. So if I said 36 earlier, then I got pretty close. Okay, so total for today, it's already 10:15, so the chances of another sale coming in tonight are low. So we're going to assume that we earned $102.60 today, which is less than I'd like. Like right now, I've been saying $100 average per day is a good amount, but I am shooting for $50,000 this year, and that means I need to be getting closer to $150 a day on average. And so right now for the month of June, the average profit per day is $112.89. So we need to get this number up quite a bit. It's got to be in the like 140, 150 range to hit that $50,000 profit this year, and I don't think we're going to make it. Anyway, average profit per sale is $26.64. So we're doing okay. Not as good as I'd like, but we're doing fine. So stick with me. Subscribe if you like. I'm going to be doing a video like this pretty much every night, and then other types of videos sprinkled in along the way. So thanks for watching. We'll see you again soon. Bye.